Sky News understands China has hacked the Ministry of Defence. The Chinese state is accused of 2 or 3 attempts at hacking MOD personnel. Sky's deputy political editor Sam Coates is outside the Ministry of Defence. Sam, what more can you tell us?
Sky News can exclusively reveal that there has been a massive data breach connected to the Ministry of Defence, the building behind me. We understand that in the last few days, they have discovered that China is behind an attempt to target the armed forces payroll system. That's the detail. That's the system that has details of armed forces personnel's names and bank information, and in a small number of cases, their addresses. Also, the information for some officials, not armed forces personnel, and some veterans also. A small number of veterans have had their information exposed. Grant Shapps, the Defence Secretary, will announce tomorrow news of this massive data breach to MPs in the Houses of Parliament. I think the officials in the building behind me have been working at speed for the last few days, all over the weekend, to try and work out what's happened. I understand their best assessment at the moment is that no actual data has been taken, but it will be extremely worrying. The government will not confirm, I understand, that China is behind the breach, but I understand that that is the very country that they think is to blame, just 2 months after the Deputy Prime Minister stood up in the Commons and said that China were behind hacking the electoral roll that contains people's electoral details and targeting some China-sceptic MPs. I think that there will be a huge effort tomorrow to reassure service personnel who will be contacted by the MOD to tell them that even though the system that's been targeted, which isn't connected to MOD systems, has been taken offline and a massive investigation has been launched, they still will be paid and there's nothing to worry about. But the existence of yet another vulnerability, which I understand officials, Downing Street, Whitehall believes China is behind, I think will be deeply worrying and aggravate further Britain's relationship, already strained relationship with China, and heap more pressure on Number 10 to take tougher action on China when we do have a strong economic relationship. But there, Gillian, the breaking news that MOD Systems, a contractor running the armed forces payroll, is understood to have been hacked by people working on behalf of the Chinese state. Grant Shapps will release all the details to MPs tomorrow. It's a huge deal. There's an enormous amount of worry, both that this has happened and that the impact that it's going to have on armed service personnel, on military officials, and on a small number of veterans who also have done this. And it will raise big questions about what happens next with Britain's relationship with China.